Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Pop and Culture Podcast, episode 21. I'm Adrian.
I'm Jay.
And we're here because our little baby podcast is now old enough to drink.
All right.
And in its honor, we're going to drink. We're going to drink the Shock Top Honey Bourbon Cask Wheat. Now, you're more of a fan of wheat beers than I am.
That's true. Is this a twist off?
It is.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm going to let you open your own beer this
Fantastic.
time. I'm not always going to serve you, Jay. Not always.
That's true. I didn't serve you earlier, so I guess that's fair.
And I served you twice this week already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried a couple beers on Monday.
That's true. One slightly better than the other.
But
Both of them decent.
No, and we'll talk about those beers too. But first, let's talk about what we have here. So as I mentioned, it's the Honey Bourbon Cask Wheat, which is an ale brewed with honey and spices aged on bourbon cask staves with natural flavor.
What the hell's a bourbon cask stave?
That's why I'm curious. It says aged on. Like, I'd understand if it was aged in bourbon barrels.
Right.
So
is this just like when they break open the bourbon barrels and there's shards of it left over, they just throw it on the ground?
there. Yeah.
All right. Sure.
So if you get a little piece of wood, that's what it is from.
Fantastic.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
All right. Huh. I like it. It's definitely got a very unique flavor set to it that you don't typically get in a beer.
It is honey, man.
It is honey, yeah.
No bourbon, but honey. I'm not a big fan of sweet beers, and this is a sweet beer.
It is.
So,
But you got to keep in mind too. This is from Shock Top.
No, I understand, and I'm
A lot of people go for the Shock Top beers because they don't have that strong hoppy flavor that a lot of the other beers do.
I understand, and you know what? Let's be fair. I'm gonna make my decision when I get down to about here,
Yeah, there you go.
and then I'll know for sure what I think.
Fantastic.
Maybe I should just chug it all till I get there. No,
There you go. Chug.
I am too old for the chugging now.
You wouldn't shotgun a beer?
I don't think I could shotgun a beer anymore.
You definitely couldn't shotgun this beer because it's in a bottle.
Now, when was the last time you did a beer bong?
I've actually never done a beer bong.
Shut the.
I have shotgunned my fair share of beers. I've never done a beer bong.
Interesting.
And I think part of that is because most of the beer I drink isn't the kind of beer you do a beer bong with.
No, but in college, it was a quintessential portion
I
of
didn't go to college.
in the college years where one would have gone to college, it was quintessential, man. Like, that was kind of, you did it.
All right.
And I remember everybody, and this may be an ASU kind of thing. Like,
Well, I mean, isn't that standard issue?
that is standard
Here's
issue.
your textbook. There's your dorm. Your beer bong's on the table.
Well, it's nice, actually, no, because you do, when you go buy your textbooks at the store, you can buy a different beer bong. You got to buy the one that suits you best.
Okay,
So it's
yeah.
not just,
All right,
it's right
so
between the chemistry books, for those who are familiar, between chemistry books and anthropology is the beer bong section.
You know, I wouldn't doubt actually being able to buy a beer bong at ASU
know,
Student
right?
Union.
It's always like, you can always tell the future engineers of America by their beer bongs. You know what I mean? Like, you have the ones that are just the funnel, hosed attached, done.
Right.
You have the ones like funnel, hosed attached. At the end, even though it's rubber, there's like almost a mouth guard that has a spigot on it.
Right.
So you get
Yep.
like, and it gets like people, they go all out on their beer bongs. Google beer bongs sometimes, and you'll find some really cool ones. Now, if they ever put that effort into college, we might be in a little better place economically speaking.
Well,
But
that's true. I mean, you don't see too many of the Chinese building beer bongs, I guess.
Oh no, that is a great shame in their country. They do it on the secret.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, I bet you that Japan would have some pretty cool.
I feel like Japan would just be like a series of small teacups filled with, what is it they drink there? Sake?
Sake.
Yeah. This Japanese beer's not good.
No, and it's funny because Japanese beers, some of them aren't even really Japanese beers, like Sapporo.
I thought that was Thai.
It is made here, my friend. It is
Oh, really?
made in the United States of America,
Oh.
owned by Anheuser-Busch.
Wow.
Right?
The hell, Japanese?
Up your game. That's all I'm saying.
So I work for a Japanese company, so this is actually a funny thing to me.
Yeah, neither of us work for American companies, actually.
No, you're...
I work for a Canadian company.
So I got a message from my mother yesterday. She has a job. She's employed by the government. So she had Monday off because Martin Luther King Jr.
Sure.
Day. She sends me a message She's like, hey, did you have to work today? I'm like, yeah, the Japanese don't like black people.
No, you can't. Folks, he didn't say that on air. You heard that wrong. He really didn't say that. Jay, what is wrong with you? The FCC monitors this shit, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, maybe we'll get an explicit tag now.
Yeah, Jesse Jackson can show up and kick your ass.
Reverend Al Sharpton.
Well, before we get more complaints on our Facebook pages, let's talk about some of the other beer we had. We had the Silver City Fat Bastard Scotch Ale.
Right. And I was hesitant because you guys saw our last experience with Silver City. They're the VIP.
Mm-mm.
No. What was theirs?
You had one individually. You had their winter ale.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
I didn't have
that. That was not great. This one that we had was slightly better than that. But I would say that, and I've had one or two of the other beers. Most of them are just kind of mediocre.
Yeah, they really are.
There's not a lot of flavor to them. There's not bad flavor. There's just not a lot of flavor.
They are. It's weird because they are, in my opinion, subpar beer, but they're incredibly popular brewery.
Right.
So I'm wondering if maybe the brewery itself is like Red Hook, where it's not just the brewery you go for the experience of the tour and the food and So those of you, I'm sure you're aware of Red Hook beer. Red Hook makes phenomenal beer. Their brewery is awesome. The tour is so cool. You get to go see everything. On top of that, the food at the restaurant's really good. They always do events too. Like during the summer, for Thursdays, it's always a movie outdoors. I think the last one they did was $5. You got 2 pints of beer and all you could eat bratwurst and watch the movie for $5.
Wow.
Like it is a hell of an awesome deal on Thursdays.
Yeah, that's great. And I heard their tour, you have to pay to take it. I think there's legal reasons for that. It used to be $1. I think I heard it went up to $3 now.
It did go up to $3. You actually get, so before you got a sample glass.
Right, which I still have my sample glass.
Now they give you a full pint glass.
Oh, okay.
And they give you a little bit more beer.
Well, okay, then that's totally worth $3.
It's totally worth the $3. Yeah, still in.
I actually use my my little Red Hook glass for when I'm drinking like bourbon or scotch or whatever.
I may have more than 20, less than 30 of those.
Well, you used to work right down, not too far from there.
Yeah,
so,
no, 5 minutes, stone's throw, as they say.
Yeah.
Funny enough, when my parents came to visit, we went to the Red Hook Brewery.
Okay.
We did the brew tour and Santo St. Michel. And they kind of have a script that they change every now and then on the tour.
Right.
But they were talking about how IPAs were created and how they got the British soldiers got them in India. They came back home and they wanted the same beer, but they didn't make it. So they rioted until they got their beer. So the guy who's doing the tour says that. He's like, and can you imagine, like, nowadays, no one would riot for beer. He stops and looks at him and goes, except for maybe Adrian. That dude would totally riot for beer. But otherwise, and my mother looks at me, I'm just like, what do I say? Like, what do you say at this point?
Right.
So thank God I'm a quick liar. I just realized she listens to this show, so oops.
Cat's out of the bag.
But they have to check everyone's ID.
Oh.
So I told him, like, well, I'm sure they just choose a random person ID to name and remember and just kind of make a joke at their expense. And God love my mother, because I think she knows that me and my brothers are worse than she thinks we are. Yeah. But she plays it off that we're not. So she was like, oh, okay, honey. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, my dad's just like,
Nice. Okay, so yeah, we had the shocked, or not the shocked up, the Silver City.
And then we had the Boatswagen.
Right, which I had never heard of before because it's
a Trader Joe's only beer. So they have 3 different ones. They have the ale, which we had. They have an IPA and a chocolate stout.
Okay.
It's not a bad price. You get a 22 ounce for $1.99.
Yeah, you can't beat that price.
And it wasn't a bad beer.
No.
But it is what I said. It was a sweeter beer.
Right.
And I don't like sweet beer.
Yeah.
So those are our beers.
You seem to be doing all right on that one.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to not drink it. And plus, after my treatment today, they said to drink plenty of fluids.
Right. Yeah.
Hello. She said no whiskey. She didn't say no beer.
Well, there you go. No, really? No whiskey?
She said it wouldn't be a good idea. Because she said drink plenty of fluids. My response was, good, because whiskey's a fluid. Okay. I'm not wrong,
okay.
am I?
So
is whiskey a fluid?
So their typical procedure isn't to include whiskey. You just happened to mention that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was gonna say if that's the normal treatment vial, that's weird. Like, oh, you can have anything, just not whiskey.
Right.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've known, like you guys need to know, but whatever. I had a slip disc. The week before Christmas.
Yeah.
So I've had to receive weekly treatment, and I'm getting better. Thank you for your concerns. But if you do want to send gifts, go ahead and send like
whiskey.
electronic gifts, e-cards,
Yeah.
e-gift cards,
Right.
anything you want.
Yeah.
I will gladly accept those. It's very, guys, sweet of you.
Amazon gift cards are fantastic.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had to go in for daily treatment, then twice a week treatment, now weekly treatment. So that was this morning. So
All
yeah.
right.
TV?
I finished up season 1 of Longmire,
Okay.
CSI Wyoming.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
I started season 3 of Hell on Wheels, which so far is pretty damn good.
Okay.
And that's pretty much all I watched for TV this week. It was a slow week for me.
It was a slow week. I felt like the shows I was looking forward to this week were not on Sunday night. I really wanted to watch Bob's Burgers for some reason. I think it's because Monday night we were talking about Bob's Burgers so much. I'm like, oh, well, the new episode should be on Hulu. There was no Bob's Burgers this Sunday. Or no Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay.
I'm guessing because the NFL playoffs.
Right. Yeah, and part of my Sunday was spent watching that game.
The majority of my... So we had the Seahawks win.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They're posting all the pictures online, and I'm laughing around all the people that gave up and left the stadium, and then they heard all the cheering, and they tried to get back in, and they're
too late.
No re-entry.
Too late, people. But you and I will be watching the Super Bowl on a laptop in my office while we're at the Walker Stalker Con in San Francisco.
Yeah. I didn't put it together until yesterday.
That you wouldn't be around for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Or no, I guess it was Monday when you were talking about some people maybe flying from San Francisco over to...
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's that day. Oh,
yeah,
sad.
we are missing the Super Bowl, which sucks because, as you know, there's usually a very epic Super Bowl party that goes down here.
Right.
And we are going to miss it this year.
They were walking around planning some of that out earlier.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, hope you guys have fun.
Boo. But hey, you know what? It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be good.
So that's what I watched on Sunday. I watched the entirety of the Seahawks, and I watched some of the Pats game. Not that, that's really a lot to talk about. Brady dominated, and turned out he's been cheating. So there's that.
Only 11 out of 12.
No, it's 8 out of 10.
What?
It was 8 out of 10 game. 8 out of 10 balls were
I read
deflated.
it was 11 out of 12.
So it's weird because I keep hearing conflicted stories.
Okay.
So I'm going by what I heard on the New York Times, which is 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Okay. I also watched up to I just started season 6 of Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
I thought I was farther along when you and I talked. I wasn't.
So you were halfway through 5, not
I was halfway through
6.
5.
Okay.
I just started season 6. I'm not sure how I feel about it anymore.
Season 6, the season 6 was a hard one for me. Like you had mentioned to me, the violence really ramps up.
Yeah, they really
almost
go
to
for
an
it.
unnecessary level. The ending of season 6, though, made almost all of that worth it to me.
So-
And that last episode of season 6 is what drives all of season 7.
So can I just go ahead and read the synopsis of season 6 and watch the last episode?
If that's what you want to do, yeah.
Well, let's be face, I'm not going to really do that.
No.
What bothers me is Jax. Because I liked seasons 1 through 4. So for those of you who are not familiar with Sons of Anarchy, first, what stone have you been living under? Secondly, it's all about a motorcycle club.
Right.
And the vice president, Jax, becomes the president at the end of season 4. And the first 4 seasons, he's trying to make them legitimate motorcycle company, get honest money, that kind of thing. And is a relatively, I don't want to say a good character, but he's not as...
He's one of the more morally afflicted characters.
He has somewhat of a moral compass.
Yeah.
So he's trying to use that through the first 4 seasons. He becomes president, and suddenly he has not even no moral compass. He's gone into like the negative.
Right. Yeah.
Like in overnight. And the other members of the motorcycle club haven't pointed it out. So it's not like it's not apparent. I don't like that though. Like I like rooting for the good guy. I now have my good guy is now Bobby. Bobby Elvis is the good guy right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Never mind.
Just say it.
I was just going to ask, there's a period where he disappears for 3 or 4 episodes. Has that happened yet?
That Bobby disappears?
Yeah.
Just happened.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because he was just talking to one of the nomads about if he misses it and this and that. And then, yes, he's disappeared now.
Okay. That is one of the most anticlimactic storylines in the entire show.
I swear to God, if he comes back and he's like, I got hair plugs, I'm out. Where have you been? You missed this and the Galindo crime syndicate. This happened at, days. Oh, where were you? I got hair plugs. All right, I'm out.
He's getting his stomach stapled.
Okay, well, he's actually on the cover of the newest Sons of Anarchy comic book.
Oh, yeah. I haven't read that yet. I probably should now that the show's wrapped up.
Yeah, it's at issue 17, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Did a lot of Sons of Anarchy. Jess is catching up on Hell's Kitchen, so that's a lot of fun for me.
Nice.
It's so much fun because I get to sit on the couch, and the Wii U has a gamepad. So you can play the games on the Wii U gamepad while she's watching TV on the main TV.
Oh, nice.
So not only do I get to play the new Mario game, I also get to watch. So I hold it up so I can see this and Kitchen Nightmare at the same time. It's really good for me. I really feel 2 birds, 1 stone, my ass getting larger on the couch.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, I've been doing that with, now that I have the larger tablet, I'll sit there and I'll play my game, like SimCity or whatever I'm playing, while I'm watching TV or movies. So I'm like, yeah, this is great. I couldn't do this before on my little Kindle Fire. So. Yeah,
it's funny, because I do. Now I want to get the smaller tablet. I know. I want to get the smaller one.
Okay. It's your choice.
Right?
I mean, you could sell the 10-inch, yeah.
No, whoa. I still need the 10-inch for work. What?
Nothing. Don't you have a brand new laptop for work?
I am American, damn it. I don't get things I need. I get things I want.
It doesn't matter if you're American. You work for a Canadian company.
Oh, God, that's true. Well, in that case, I'm going to eat elk and dress like a Mountie.
Yeah.
Movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch any movies?
I watched more James Bond.
Okay. What are you up to now?
We only watched one more, so we just finished Goldfinger.
Okay.
Jess has really been enjoying the time, because it is very clearly set in that time.
Yeah.
More, though, is she starts laughing at random points. And I'm like, I don't know what's funny to you right now. Because she's now getting the Austin Power jokes.
Right.
Where she didn't get before. So now she's like, okay, that makes sense to me now. So it's kind of fun watching it with her. Because the light bulb goes off and she starts to laugh.
Have you gotten to the point now, though, where when she starts laughing, you already know what?
Yes, obviously. Yeah. I've gotten to that point where I'm like, okay.
Nice.
Yep. What about you?
So I watched 3 movies on Sunday.
Holy shit.
In addition to the Seahawks game.
Okay.
So that's why I said part of my watching.
Yeah. Wow.
So let me see if I can remember the names of all of them. The first one was All I Want. And it's got the guy that was Frodo.
Elijah Wood.
Yes. It's got Elijah Wood in it. He plays a character who gets he starts off at college, meets his roommate, doesn't like his roommate at all, so he just goes and he drops out of college, rents a apartment in the city. And it's one of those apartments where it's like a big old house that they divided into like 4 apartments. So he moves in there, and then he ends up having just these interesting people that he's sharing the house with, and 2 women, and he's kind of, do I want to get with that woman? Do I want to get with that woman? And there's the whole thing, and he's got a very crazy sense of imagination. So every once in a while, when you think it's a scene that's actually having something completely outlandish happens, and you realize it's just his imagination.
His head,
yeah. So I watched that, and then I watched Swinging with the Finkles or something like that. Swinging with the something. It's about this couple who has been married for about 8 years, and
I remember seeing this one.
Yeah, their relationship's just stale. So one of them gets the idea that maybe they should swing, and maybe that will break them out of their rut and get them closer together.
Could you give me maybe a layout, like exact details on how they convinced their spouse that this was a good idea? Like what
it was the wife's idea.
Damn it, I'm out. All right, continue with yours.
Yeah, I feel like for most marriages, the husband, if the wife says, "Hey, you want to sleep with other people?" Done.
No, I don't want to, honey. But if that's what you need, I'm willing to do it for you.
Yeah.
That's the appropriate response.
Shocking, it doesn't help the marriage. It drives them further apart.
I did not see that coming.
No. not at all.
There's
And
a
then
pun in there somewhere.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I let that one go.
Okay.
And then there's a third movie, Love, Marriage, and Happiness, or something like that. The main character is a wedding counselor, and she's just recently married herself. And then right after she gets married, she finds out that her parents, who've been together for like 20 years, are splitting up. So she's trying to figure out how to get them back together. Meanwhile, she's just ignoring her husband, and he's like, "You're putting all this time getting them back together, and they don't want to be back together. And now we're farther." So it's a 1, 2, 3 of wow. These are fantastic movies. But they were on my queue, so I was like, "Let me just knock them out."
Got it.
I was playing SimCity the whole time, so.
Were any of them good? You don't seem to really enjoy that many.
No, I thought for the most part they were good movies.
Okay.
They were probably not movies that I would watch again.
Sure.
But they were good to watch the first time.
Really fast, and not to backtrack. Are you caught up on Gotham?
Was there an episode this week?
Yes.
Then no, I have not watched this week's
Okay.
episode yet.
Did you watch the one before it?
I did.
Okay, so this week's is a continuation of that one.
Right.
How do you feel about where they're taking this show? So you have it ended last week's episode ended with that doctor who electrocuted people,
Right.
and now he becomes a supervillain, the electrocutioner. Right?
Can we not come up with better names?
Okay, not even the better names thing is. I liked it being a gritty cop drama kind of thing centered around Gordon. I didn't want superheroes involved or super villains involved.
Right.
So it was good. It wasn't to the point where I was all like, too far. They didn't jump the shark with it by any means. But I can see that they're considering going in that route.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess it's hard because being the universe that it's in, you kind of have to touch on some of that. But it would have been nice if they had waited a little longer.
I agree. Yeah. The only thing about that show that I think, and the reason I'm bringing this up that needs to go, is Barbara.
Yeah, I'd be fine with her. I mean, I don't care about that anymore.
Nobody cares about that character.
No.
Like, they've done a bad job with Barbara.
I would have been okay if when she got kidnapped, she really did just get killed.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with that.
I think that would have added like another layer to Gordon's character because now he's like grieving from that instead of it just being like, oh, I was in a war. I don't know how to smile.
So, and then we have Barbara who goes to talk to the crime lord to save Jim's life. And then 2 episodes later, she leaves him because it's just too much to handle.
Right.
Meanwhile, if she, like, I'm not saying women listen to your men, but he did say, like, don't get involved with this. This is bad. It's going to cause problems. And just head forward, straight into it. Like, at that point, like, I just don't like this character.
At that point, he should have left her. He's just been like, shoot her, whatever.
Just, you nab her. I don't care.
So I'll have to watch that. I'll probably get to that this weekend. Yeah. Same thing, Flash and Arrow I'll get to this weekend.
And that's kind of why I brought it up, is just the Barbara character is just getting on my nerves.
Right.
And I'm also curious when Poison Ivy is going to start showing some powers.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just... I could do without that character, too.
Unless they actually make her Poison Ivy. At this point, I don't care.
But
She's just a runaway with...
And this is the thing that drives me crazy, is... Obviously, they changed some of these people's backstories. Catwoman wasn't... She came from a rich family. She wasn't always... But Poison Ivy, she was like a biologist, and then there was an accident.
Yeah.
Like, don't have her just be some street kid that has powers.
So that's the question, is she just some street kid that has the name and she does get into the accident? Or is she going to be some street kid who just develops powers?
I hope there's an accident. I don't even care if it's at the age she's at now and she has an accident, but I don't want her to just... Oh, by the way, I can control plants.
So, like, in my ideal version, she shouldn't have been a street kid in the first place.
No, not at all.
Like, she should have just been raised the way she was, and she can still know Selena.
Right.
Kind of.
She could have been a classmate at Bruce's school or something like that, and that's how you bring her in.
Could have been a classmate at Bruce's school. She could have known Selena because Selena was on the streets and tried to steal from her mom, and she let it... Like, there's a myriad of things. Instead, she's a meek, kind of annoying street kid.
Yeah.
So, I know this sounds weird. I'm having an issue with the female characters in Gotham.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't think of a single one that I'm like, I like that character.
I kind of like the police captain. Kind of like her. Again, kind of.
Yeah.
Dr. Thompson, we'll see where it happens, but weak lineup of female characters.
No, okay. Tompkins ends up being Batman's doctor, right? That's what I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, in the once he's Batman.
Yeah, because she's older, and
Right.
she kind of helped him along through the parents, grieving the parents, and kind of became his doctor.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, that actress is from Firefly.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. Looks way different now.
Oh, she was also in V.
I didn't watch V, but yeah,
Okay.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she looks much different. She's a very sweet lady, though.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else, TV or movie?
No, I just wanted to bring back Gotham real fast.
Yeah,
so
no,
I can
that's
hit
fine.
on the,
Cool.
the poor female characters.
You got to take every chance you can to just put them in their place.
Look, I'm here to defend. No, I can't even get that out in one sentence without being a smartass. Nope, I got nothing.
Okay.
I feel like you've already been racist enough. I don't need to be sexist. So let's just move on.
Okay. So what's in your stack over there?
Oh my god, too much.
Yeah. Well, it seems to be the recurring theme for your side of the table.
Bite your tongue. I love my comic books. We have Earth 2 World's End, Justice League, with a awesome cover. It's a Jim Lee doing the Batman. So it's part of the Amazo virus. So he's getting all amped up with superpowers.
Amazo is a virus now.
It is a long story. No, it's good. It's good.
Okay.
Yep. Teen Titans, The New Future Chief Futures End, Batman and Robin, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern New Guardians, Snake Eyes Agent of Cobra.
What?
Yeah, Snake Eyes Agent of Cobra. You would have to read the previous run to understand what's going on with that.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Verse Team Up, Amazing Spider-Man, Magneto, Scarlet Spiders, Superior Iron Man, Spider-Woman, and all new X-Men. So clearly a very light week for me.
There's so many books in there that I would not even want to touch.
Oh, come on. What's bad in that group? No, I'm serious. What are you out on, brother?
Snake Eyes I would read. I don't care. Spider-Woman,
Part of the Spider-Verse. Only reason I'm getting it.
which I wouldn't read the Spider-Verse because it's ridiculous. Scarlet Spiders, I know it's the same reason.
There you go.
Spider-Verse Team Up.
Part of the
featuring
Spider-Verse.
a Spider-Girl reunion?
Part of the Spider-Verse.
There's another one here. I wouldn't...
Dude, Futures...
not that I wouldn't read it, but 38 issues in already, I probably wouldn't start it.
No, you can't start it there. Like,
Yeah.
it's a weekly title. You got to
And I
start
think
with
it's one of
issue
those
one.
things, we've talked about this before, where they're doing all this stuff 5 years from now, but none of it's actually ever going to have... never going to happen. Probably not going to have too much of an effect. So
course
that
not.
to me, I'm like...
But here's the thing. What if, because they resolve it at the end of this? So the whole point of this was Batman Begins goes from the future here to try to stop all this from happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just... as a weekly book, to pay $3 a week for a book that's not going to mean anything.
Totally good.
Teen
Totally.
Titans, I tried. I can... It's... I bill myself as kind of a tech-savvy person, and I do social media stuff here and there. But the first issue of this, where everything was essentially a tweet, just...
Okay, I will agree that was annoying. Thankfully, that was only the first issue. They never did it again.
Yeah, really, that's it.
Okay.
But that's like a third of your books.
That's well, you take out Spider-Verse, and there's a third of my books are
Well,
gone.
that's true.
What about you, brother?
All right, I got Magneto, Green Lantern New Guardians, Supergirl, Invincible, Batman Eternal, The Names... Not the name, sorry, The Kitchen. New episode or issue of The Kitchen came out. I got Wonder Woman, and then I tried something new called Revenger.
Oh, I'm glad you picked that up, because I saw that on the stands. The other thing...
Be glad that I picked that up and not you.
Can I see your Invincible?
Yeah.
Why is he wearing a dress?
So that is Invincible's dad, who is an alien.
Yes, he is.
And
wearing
that
a
is their
dress.
traditional formal garb. He is the leader of the entire race.
Homeboy's wearing a dress.
Yeah. The Pope wears the dress.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the cool car, though.
He doesn't even get
Boatmobile?
the car?
No.
All he has is this Burt Reynolds mustache and no car?
Well, he's got a whole space station on the moon. Does that count?
That kind of beats the Pope-mobile, wouldn't it?
I would think so.
I think so.
Okay.
All right. So, I'm going to do my review a little bit different this week, so why don't you go ahead and do your review?
Okay, so real quickly, I'm going to touch on Revenger and tell you why you should be glad you didn't pick it up.
Okay.
So from the cover, it doesn't look too terrible. And I read the premise of the book, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It's essentially a guy that goes around and gets vengeance for people that can't do it themselves, or like people that are in trouble that don't have anywhere else to turn for help. He helps them. So I was like, okay, yeah, no, it's whatever. $1.99. The cover's pretty cool. If I can get to the cover here. The cover looks cool.
Yeah, no, I remember. Like I said, I remember seeing it. I was like, ah.
Did you flip through it at all?
No. Oh no.
This is horrible art. Horrible art.
Now is it horrible art? Absolutely no background whatsoever. It's 100% white.
Yeah. So these panels on the first couple pages, all white, no background image. He's beating a clown with a baseball bat. But the art looks like something that I could have done in Microsoft Paint.
Oh, that is bad.
And there's a 2-page spread where after he's beat the clown and cut off one of his hands, he uses the severed hand to write 1-800-REVENGE on what I would assume is the floor. You can't tell because it's all white. Essentially, he set up a 1-800 number where people can call him and contact him to come help them.
So, again, it is a cool premise. That is some bad art.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The backgrounds don't get better.
No. That one's kind of a pale yellow. I think this is supposed to be trees here and clouds there, but they're the same color. So it's not great. But here's the thing. I will give it to this person. It is one guy that he wrote it and he did all the art himself. And it's published by something I've never heard of. It's Oily Comics, which may just be a company he set up. So if that's the case... if he did all this himself, completely self-published and everything like that, and it's making it onto the stands, I will give him props for that.
I will clarify. When I say the stands, as in the digital stand. I did not see it in the comic store.
It was, it's there. I don't know what the process to get your digital comic uploaded onto Comixology is. I would think that there's some sort of barrier. But, so be glad you didn't pick that one up.
Like, that is my same argument for... Where the Wild Things Are. Everyone's like, no, but he did the art and wrote the story himself. That's great. He did mediocre art and a shitty story.
I haven't read Where the Wild Things Are. I may have never read it, actually.
Let me sum it up for you, okay? This kid's a little pain in the ass. He gets sent to his room for being bad. He goes into his imagination where he runs the wild things, and then he runs them and ends up fighting them, beating them up, and then leaving them in a horrible desire state to come back downstairs to his real life where his mother left cake out for him after being sent to bed with no dinner for being bad.
It's a shitty story.
That's what I'm saying.
Why do people love that?
Where's the moral in this? You can be a little shit and get cake in the end. Hey, no dinner for you, young man. Oh, you want chocolate cake though? But how?
To be fair, I think they just disproved that you can't have your cake and eat it too. Still sounds like a shitty story,
No,
and I can confirm now that I have never read that because that does not sound familiar to me at all.
No, and I don't understand people's love with it.
Okay, so don't read Revenger. It's shit.
Or Where the Wild Things Are while we're at it.
Well, yeah. The one thing that I do want to talk about is actually Supergirl. That's not Supergirl.
That is not Supergirl.
I love the direction that this comics is going.
Do you?
I do.
I love the last... I flipped through it. I haven't read it. I love the last panel. That's for damn sure.
Sorry. Where she's like, you gotta go through me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I talked about the last couple of issues. Supergirl is now at this place called the Crucible, which is a training center to get all the top of all species together to essentially go out and fight injustice, whatever. One of the people on the team, his homeworld is getting attacked, so they get dispatched on a mission to go save his homeworld. Turns out it's his brother and a couple of his friends who were also all former members at the Crucible and got kicked out.
Oh.
So now he's like, screw you guys, I'm taking over our planet. So they fight him. They're totally outmatched. And the brother and his friends, they're like, we're going to go. We got some business on some backworld planet we got to take care of. Screw you, losers. And they disappear.
Is it a black world planet called Earth?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yes.
Because they're just going to... That's what these writers like to do, is they like to say, everybody loves Earth because we're from Earth, but in the grand scheme of things, if all these other planets existed, we would be like the rednecks. We would be like the Ozarks, the Appalachians of the universe.
Okay.
All right.
No, I'm not arguing.
Yeah. So Supergirl and the other people from the Crucible follow this group of people, and they pop up and they're like, "Oh, this is Earth." They just happen to land in the middle of a comic convention that's happening in Rome, which is weird. Turns out,
are you sure it wasn't the Vatican Halloween party?
It says Roma Comic Con.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not even RomaCon?
It might have been RomaCon.
Because that at least sounds a little better.
I think it's RomaCon.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so it turns out Superboy is there. Which, as far as Supergirl knew, Superboy's dead.
Right.
Because that whole that Hell on Earth or whatever.
Yeah, no, it happened. He did pass.
So she finds out that this group of people is there to get Superboy, the clone as they keep referring to him, and take him back with them. Well, they fight again, and now Supergirl has learned some of these people's powers, so she's like, hey, you and you go do that, and she's actually like strategizing and leading the team, essentially. Still shocked that Superboy's there. In the end, the other team, they'd say, okay, you win this battle, but we'll be back. There's a whole war going on. Well, then she finds out that her team is there to get Superboy also. And she didn't know that. She didn't even know he was alive. But apparently they had instructions to follow these other people because the bad guys, the Crucible people knew that they were going after Superboy. So they told the actual team leader to follow them at all costs and have them lead you to the clone. So now they're trying to get Superboy back to the Crucible with them. And Supergirl, as you said, ends the book with, if you want him, you got to go through me. And she's challenging the entire rest of the team.
So here's what I don't understand, though. If she joined up with them, why is she opposed to him joining up with them? Or do they want him for nefarious purposes?
So throughout the issue, she starts realizing that she is now fighting with these people for this organization that she knows nothing about.
Got it.
While she was fighting this other group, at first they kept saying, you don't know anything about the Crucible. If you really knew what they were about, you would be on our side. And da, da, da. So now there's that seed of doubt in her head. And now she's like, well, why are they keeping secrets from me? And why are they trying to kidnap Khan? So give me some answers or you're not taking him.
Why does the Crucible sound familiar to me? Was that what happened? The Teen Titans crossover with Superboy and Superboy and it was Superboy and Teen Titans.
Is this pre-52?
No, it wasn't. It was like Superboy issues 10 through 15. Same with Teen Titans. That's going to bother me.
It could be.
I think it was called the Crucible.
And that would make sense why there's now the Crucible that's wanting to try to get...
Because it was. They took... They took other superpowered kids and used them. The guy's name was Harvest. That was it.
Yeah, so it may be the same organization. I wasn't reading either of those books, so I'm not sure.
Because when we were talking about last week, I'm like, that sounds so familiar. Yes, I was right. That is who the Crucible is.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why it sounds so familiar.
Supergirl was probably still a Red Lantern, so she wouldn't have...
No, she wasn't a Red Lantern. She just wasn't involved.
Oh.
It was only the Teen Titans, Superboy, and Gen 13. They weren't called Gen 13.
Yeah. Okay. So that was, out of everything I read this week, that was probably my top book.
Cool. So. No, and again, I like the whole super family. Superman, Superboy, Supergirl are all books I get in trade. So yeah. I like it.
Like I said when they started leading up to this, Supergirl's kind of been floundering the last, 2-3 story arcs, not really knowing what to do with her. So I'm glad they found something to do with her.
The first trade was actually really good.
Yeah.
And then they said it floundered. The Red Lanterns was no good.
No.
And then I'm looking forward to this next trade because the last one was Hell on Earth that came out.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. For my review, I'm going to be reviewing the future of comic books. And by that, I mean, what the fuck, Marvel? What the fuck? So, I'm sure you all know the news. And for those of you who don't know the news, Marvel is, but isn't, kinda is ending the universe, but they're not saying... Marvel's...
No. They did say it.
No. They did, and then they kind of unsaid it, and then said some clandestine shit. So the original statement that was made... Yes?
...was the Secret Wars event that's coming up will end the Marvel Universe as you know it.
Right. It's ending the Marvel Universe as you know it because Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Universe are becoming one.
Right.
So, here's my question. If you read Stan Lee's interview, he makes it seem like they're doing what the DCNU did and rebooting everything.
Yeah, but what involvement does Stan Lee have?
I think he still has some.
He has probably like rights over the characters.
Maybe. But so then also like Newsarama and Comic Book Alliance, they're all kind of talking about that it is going to be a reboot, but then other articles are saying it's not going to be a reboot. Marvel is very clear in saying they are not rebooting their universe. Some things are saying, some things are going. Read to find out.
Well, I told you my wish for the X-Men at least.
Which is?
That I need Maggot and Joseph to be co-leaders of the team.
And like I said, Maggot is X-Force.
No, that's random.
So I'm wondering, is this all a ploy just to finally bring back Jean Grey again?
Yeah, probably.
Right?
Yeah.
It's because the ultimate...
you're going to have like 3 versions. You're going to have Jean Grey, you're going to have Madeline Pryor, and then you're going to have
Ultimate
Red from the... what was that? Age of Apocalypse?
Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
But Jean Grey's still alive in the Ultimate Universe. So a lot of people are wondering what's going on. Depending on who you speak to about it, some people are saying it's total reboot, and other people are saying like, no, it's just a relaunch of titles.
Again?
Right?
Didn't we just do this like 5 times in the last 2 years?
Captain America's at issue 3, Iron Man's at issue 3, Thor's at 2. Like, really, you're gonna fucking relaunch things in 8 months? Like, you're not even waiting a year. So what is it? Is it a relaunch? Is it a reboot? I don't know, but.
So is this going to be the all-new, all-different Marvel?
Yes, that's what they're calling it.
Really?
All new, all different.
I was just totally making that up.
No, that is what
that was the tie-line on Giant Size number 1.
That's why. It's all new, all different Marvel.
Oh my god.
So we had...
Who the fuck is running Marvel's marketing department right now?
So if you look here, we had Marvel Now, which was like 2 years ago. No, 3 years ago. Well, my math might be wrong here. Because that came out... It's at issue 20. Yeah, so about 3 years, 2.5 years ago. And then we had All New Marvel, which was 8 months after that, where the titles that didn't get relaunched got relaunched. And now we have All New, All Different Marvel, where we're doing relaunches again. What the fuck?
Wow. Yay, Image.
The other thing that doesn't make sense to me is like, we're still in the middle of Axis. And like,
that's still going on?
Axis is
My
still going
God.
And the effects of Axis are still going on. Iron Man's crazy. We're moving into the X-Men and Cosmic Black Vortex. We're moving into Hickman's Avengers that's going to... Time runs out. And then we go to Secret Wars Battle World. And after that is all new, all different Marvel. So what's going to happen to all the shows that are currently... Well, not shows, but all the books that are currently going on? Like, is everything being rebooted? Is everything not being... Should I just stop reading Spider-Verse now because in 2 months none of this is going to matter? Like, what?
Stop reading Spider-Verse at issue 1.
I can't. I'm too far in.
I know, right?
I'm too far.
So here's the new gimmick. Instead of the normal lettering or numbering like we have now, it's all going to be Roman numerals.
So it.
I. Did you get issue VII?
I did. Oh my god! After reading V or 1V, then I just thought I was. But you know what I mean? Like, what is going on? Like, they just announced new titles.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Gwen. Yeah, Spider-Gwen. I said it. That's a thing.
You're gonna get it. You can't make fun of it.
I'm not gonna get it.
But it ties into Spider-Verse.
It doesn't. It takes place after Spider-Verse.
Bullshit. They're gonna figure out a way to tie into Spider-Verse.
Once Spider-Verse is over, I'm out. Look, you heard my rant about
Wait. Now you guys, this is on permanent film here or digital. It's ones and zeros here. You said after Spider-Verse, you're out
of Spider-Gwen. Yes.
So when Spider-Verse is over and I see you with Spider-Gwen number 1 in your stack.
Okay, first of all, we know you do the editing. You could change it to say whatever you want. I don't know what you do in that editing. I don't know how that works. It goes to the cloud. I don't fucking understand the cloud.
It's not the cloud.
Really? Where's YouTube?
On servers. It's not in the cloud.
It's the same thing.
No.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish my rant.
No, go ahead. Whatever.
And no, I will not be in Spider-Gwen. The thing is that I don't...
What the fuck did you just say?
I said Spider-Gwen really fast.
It sounded like you said Spider-Glen.
Say Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Glen? Damn.
Yeah, see? Right. Say it really fast. That's what happens.
Fair enough.
Thank you. So what the fuck? Like, that comes out literally a month before Secret Wars. So is that only going to have 2 titles and then it's getting relaunched?
So Secret Wars is March?
Secret Wars is March. Okay.
Is that when Convergence starts too, or is that April?
Thank you for my next point.
Well, excellent segue.
As I continue my review of future comics. So, obviously DC tried this with the DCNU 37 issues ago. And what happened was Flash went into a different time stream. He came back into a different time stream. Things were the same, but different. The heroes were younger, different backstories. Like, they erased 20 years of DC Comics. I say 20 years because Crisis.
Right.
I'm putting Crisis in my timing. So they came back. Some things stayed, some things didn't. Now we're getting to Convergence. And in Convergence, we find out that all the DC universes are going to be meshed together to fight. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. When Convergence is over, though, I don't think things are going to change. I think they're going to use it to bring in JSA characters.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Do I get a monthly comic with the what was that? The Mighty Comics characters that we saw in Multiversity #1?
No.
I would read the shit out of that.
So essentially what happens is DC for the whole month is not going to be publishing the regular titles.
Right.
All their titles are taking that break, and it's only going to be Convergence. And then it's going to go back to your regularly scheduled programming. So that's Convergence, where all the different universes are going to be fighting against each other. The one I'm most interested in reading is actually the Red Arrow one, where those of you who have read it before DCNU, Roy Harper,
missing an arm.
Roy Harper's daughter got killed.
His daughter he had with a supervillain.
Yeah, right.
Jackass.
Got killed. He loses an arm and goes off the deep end. He gets back into heroin. Like, shit goes downhill quickly.
It's gotta be rough. He's got like half as many veins to put in.
Well, I mean, you got another arm for that. You know what I mean? Do you think that his mechanical arm has a little hole where he's like that into?
I forgot he had a mechanical arm. I was gonna say, how is he gonna use no arm to put it in his arm? But I forgot he had the mechanical arm.
If you want it badly enough, you will find a way.
Steven Tyler put it into his eyelids.
Anyways, so in one of the books, it's Donna Troy, and who is the other lady with him? I want to say Black Canary, but I don't remember for sure. They go check on him to see how he's doing after everything that's happened, and he has his daughter.
Oh.
So my assumption is it's the daughter from one of the different universes that he took.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm all like, oh, this is going to be crazy. I'm so in.
Interdimensional kidnapping.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to do that shit right.
What do you think the prison term is for that?
On what system? In our dimension, none.
That's true. That's true.
You're the dad. On their
DNA
dimension,
testing
yeah,
is-
right?
yeah.
Done and done. So I'm looking forward to Convergence. When it's over, they're going to bring in some characters that weren't here. I think that's how they're going to bring in some of the JSA characters, like I mentioned. But it's going to go back to business as usual. Marvel's doing Battle World, where the same thing. All the universes are going to come. They're going to fight it out in the Secret Wars. And when it's over, it's going to be all different, all new. So we know that they're bringing the Marvel and the Marvel Universe together.
Are we gonna get the original Thunderbird back?
I don't know.
The guy that died in his first damn appearance.
So sad. But it brought us Warpath.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta say, I'm looking forward to the DC one. I'm not looking forward to the Marvel. Because DC relaunched, like, they redid their entire universe.
Right.
But they didn't relaunch some issues and then a couple months later relaunch it again. A couple months later relaunch it again, and then a whole nother relaunch.
Yeah.
Super irritated about this whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think they're obviously doing it for money. And it worked for DC, so why shouldn't it work for Marvel?
Right. What Marvel movies are coming out right around the time that we're doing
Age of Ultron.
Okay. I was trying to figure out what the potential storylines are going to be.
They already said that Age of Ultron. Shit, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but that the Marvel universe and the movies and comic books.
They said they're not. I thought they said they weren't trying to match them up.
They are going to bleed into each other.
Okay.
So who knows? I don't know. I'm not necessarily looking forward to it. Again, Marvel's being pretty hush-hush about this whole thing. They're giving details that aren't real details. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what'd you have? I had a beer. Okay, that's the deal. I had a beer. What kind of beer? What? Like, nope, none of those details. It's I had a beer.
Right.
So who knows what's going to happen? There's a lot of speculation out there. My speculation is it's going to be bad. And that's what I got for today, man.
Okay, fantastic.
For those of you who are aware, Jay put up a shot of culture.
I did.
I'm going to put up one myself tomorrow because I was going to today. And Jake can attest, I actually worked today.
Yeah, no, it was weird. I walked in and he was doing stuff. I'm like, oh, weird.
It was no fun. I wanted to do mine today. I have a whiskey in my office. I have a shot glass in my office. I didn't get around to it, so I'm hoping to do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Awesome, man.
Cool.
Well, that wraps it up for us, guys.
We'll see you again next week.
Take care.
See you.